And let's go. All right, so to start off, let's get a little bit warm here. I'm going to start off by doing some high knees. So you can run through high knees or you can slowly walk through high knees. Essentially what it is wherever your knee is able to get up to that very first time, keep your hands there as a little benchmark to keep yourself honest, and then walk back and forth or run. You know, you could certainly add in a jump, speed these way up, make them as intense for yourself as you would enjoy, or as slow and relaxing as you would enjoy. But we're going to go through a deeper range of motion here with these high knees. So you can see I have my hands up high as they can possibly be and still get my knees to hit them. I'm also drawing my belly button in at the top, so keeping my core really nicely engaged here. I'm not forgetting to breathe. Beautifully. And now let's go across your body. The height on this might be a little bit different, so just gauge wherever that is. Beautiful. And then out to the side. So keeping the knees coming up, keeping the core in, giving your body a little bit of variety here, and warming us up a little bit. Nice. For our upper body, it's just a little warm up, get the juices flowing. I'm going to come up to goalpost arms, and I'm going to bring my elbows back in space as far as they possibly can, drop my shoulders down as much as I can. And then with the backs of my hands, draw them back a little bit further. And now we're going to alternate so that the palms are now coming down and coming back towards the wall behind me. If you don't have a wall clearly behind you, an imaginary surface behind you, and then back and forth. Only going as far as it feels good, but allowing your body to have a really nice full range of motion here. A little variety from what you do the rest of the day. One last one in each position. Beautiful. Elbows down by the sides and palms up now. And now what I'm doing is bringing my elbows in towards my side, keeping them in towards my side, bringing my thumbs back to that wall behind me and together. So I'm only going this far apart because that's as far as I can go. But if you can go further, keep going. You're going to be engaging the muscles all across the upper back and into your rear delts here, back and forth. Taking the pressure off and then squeezing your muscles to open up through the front of your body. Beautiful. All right, now that we got a little bit of a warm up in, let's do some stretches that'll feel really great. I'm going to start off with a circle stretch variation. So interlacing my fingers like so, and then bringing my hands all the way up over my head. And I'm going to be drawing a circle like I'm drawing a circle on the ceiling. So scooching over so you can see, I'm tipping over to the left, leaning back a little bit, tipping over to the right, coming forward, almost like I was able to draw a circle on the ceiling. While I do this, I keep my core engaged. I keep a lot of length through my spine, so imagining that I'm increasing the space between every single vertebra to be up really nice and tall. And at the same time, I'm keeping my shoulders dropped away from my ears. So not letting my shoulders come up towards my ears too much for this one. Let's reverse direction. And keep breathing. You could slow the circle way down if you want. Finding some angles that feel good for you and sort of getting to know how your body is feeling, especially if you were shoveling yesterday. All right, let's get a little variation on this circle stretch again. So now instead of drawing a circle on the ceiling, we have an imaginary wall in front of us and we're drawing a circle on that wall. So my toes are going to stay facing my wall. And then as I draw my circle, I go from my hands up over my head to twisting, going over to my right just as far as I possibly can, and then down towards the floor, reaching down as far as I can, and then up towards the left. Oh, can I get over a little bit more? Yeah. And then back up. Keep going around the clock here. Going nice and slow so you can really experiment. Make sure you're getting into the corners of that stretch as far as possible, while you keep it in that range of motion that feels really good for you too. So if it doesn't feel good to go over as far as you can, stay where you feel safe and where you feel comfortable. If extending your hands out is not working for you, you could also have hands on hips to give yourself a little bit more support. And then you would be drawing this circle with the top of your head instead. Let's reverse direction here. Drawing that giant circle. The reason why we reverse direction is because when I go down to the left, it's a little bit easier to extend this way because gravity's working with me. And then I'm going to go all the way down and around. And over here, I'm coming up away from gravity. It's going to feel a little bit different on my body. I might not get as deep into the range of motion as I'm coming up and away from gravity. Hopefully that makes sense. Complete one last circle here. Beautiful. All right. Bring your hands down to your sides. Relax the shoulders. Going to do a little bit of a rear delt stretch, but bring in lots of angles. So I'm going to take my right arm, bring it across my body, use my left hand to help myself into the stretch. And to start off with, I'm going to bring my shoulder up towards my ear and then down towards my right hip bone and go back and forth, experimenting with these angles. See if I can bring my arm into the stretch a little bit more so it feels great. And then I'm going to play with raising my hand. So bringing my right hand up a little bit and down a little bit. Finding some really luscious stretches here. And really tuning into your body and what feels good today. As I bring my hand down, it's also nice to roll the shoulder down a bit. And then as I bring my hand up, it could be nice to roll the shoulder up towards your chin and your ear a little bit. So play with moving both at once. You can also play with arching and rounding your back. So as I bring my hand up or as I bring my hand across, rounding the back to change the stretch a little bit further. And then experiment with arching your back. See how that changes the stretch. Beautiful. Shake it out, and then we'll switch sides here. So bringing my left arm across my body now, using my right hand to help myself in. Playing with where the shoulder is sitting, bringing my shoulder up towards my ear, down towards my left hip. Maybe going back and forth a few times, or finding a really juicy spot and hanging out there. You can also experiment with taking a really big sigh and seeing how that feels. And now, just like we did on the other side, bringing the hand up and the hand down, but leaving the shoulder in the same spot. Changing the stretch here. Seeing if I'd like to bring that arm, my left arm, into the stretch a little bit more or a little bit less. If that feels better for you, definitely do that. Experiment with bringing the shoulder up towards the ear as you bring the hand up high. And likewise, dropping the shoulder down as you bring the hand a bit lower. Nice. And then go ahead and play with arching and rounding through your back. So rounding here to see how that feels as you bring your arm across and arching through your back. Being really mindful of your body, how this feels, how the two sides might feel totally different from each other. Beautiful. Bring your arm down. Do a few shoulder rolls to relax here. Going to take our hands now and clasp them behind our back. Start off with your knuckles touching your body, your elbows out to the side, and then draw the knuckles down just as far as they possibly can. Taking a moment to open through your shoulders. It may feel really good if you do some shoulder circles here to practice extending and opening up through the front of your body. From here, you can relax your left ear down to your left shoulder and take a really deep breath. Inhaling all the way so you're as full of air as you possibly can be. And then exhaling as completely as you can. Letting all the air out, and with it, all the tension that can possibly go with that breath. The next breath, inhale and lean your body over. Seeing how this changes the stretch to include that lateral bend through your side as you're clasping your hands behind your back. Imagining that everything's staying back on an imaginary wall behind you, so you aren't twisting or tipping. And exhaling deeply and completely. And coming back up. If that makes your arms feel a little bit tense, shake it out, and then we'll do the other side. Inhaling and then exhaling as you lean your right ear to your right shoulder. Aiming for a nice, long, slow inhale. And a nice, long, complete exhale. Adding in the lateral bend here. So I'm tipping over to the side, getting a bend. If you could see my spine in an x-ray, my spine through my body here would also be tipping over to the side. Deep inhale and complete exhale. And come right back up. Bring your arms forward. Take your hands, and we're actually going to clasp them in front. Hopefully you can see I'm crossing my arms in front here. I'll clasp my hands however it feels good. And then I'm just going to draw knuckles down towards the ground and allow my body to round out here. Taking some of the tension out of my upper back. If it feels nice, I can drift my knuckles towards the right and towards the left to get a little extra stretch. You can also tuck your chin here. And then come back up. Take a nice deep inhale here. Use that inhale to become the longest, tallest version of yourself. And a nice, complete exhale to let go any tension that you have remaining in you from the morning so you can go forward. Have a lovely lunch break and a fantastic afternoon. Thanks, everybody.